Hello everyone, Impiator here, and welcome back to my Newcomer's Guide for Elden Ring. This is part 31. So in the last episode, we ended up traveling over to the Ravine-Veiled Village to take an alternate route up to the Altus Plateau. Previously, we of course got there using the Grand Lift Adectus, but I did want to point out the alternate route. And in this episode, we're going to be tackling some of the southern kind of sections of the Altus Plateau. We're also going to access the eastern half of this map area here by getting a map fragment. So the first thing we're going to be doing here is, you know what, there we go. So that way we can put one right there. There is a Knight's Cavalry there. We're going to kill that. After we do that, we're going to come back around for the Lux Ruins and defeat the boss there, the Demi-human Queen Gilika. Next, we're going to come up to this location. This actually has an item in it that we're going to need for Celivis's quest a little bit later. Otherwise, though, we're going to head east after that and complete the Perfumer's Grotto. Now, behind this area here is actually a couple of sentinels. We got 2 tree sentinels here. And we're going to just simply bypass them and then work our way kind of a little bit in after we get the map fragment. So that's going to be kind of what things look like for this episode. And then we're going to wrap out at the Second Church of Marika here. But first, let's head back over to the Round Table Hold. We're going to progress some quests. So first things first, this is your last time to talk to Corin here. He will be moving after we talk to him, so if you want to buy something from him now, go ahead and do so. I'll show you where he is, though, here in a few minutes. Yeah, I'm still getting these appraisal messages. Anyway, if we rest, he's going to disappear. Next, we're going to come into here, and we're going to talk to Roderica.
Agreed, are you here for...
So she's got a new statement. There's something you should know.
A little while ago, and I can hear the howl, a pleth, can't even, not even the... You should keep, I know.
So we'll go investigate what she's concerned about here in a moment.
Well, I took you no matter to lay out your own.
And we have the ability to get some level up, so I'm going to go ahead and level up. I need some runes first.
No matter.
So we'll go ahead and level up the club that I've been using. So let's go investigate what's on the other side here. We also have a bell bearing to go over to the Twin Maiden Husks, so we'll do that while we're here too. But as you can see, the door over there is now open. So all the meat that we have here is what we've gained access to. I'm going to go ahead and buy up another memory stone. And this is the Loathsome Dung Eater.
And the pox. Apparently you are, but you no longer have been. Why are you thankful it is all?
This guy is a horrible person. He defiles dead people in order to basically keep them from following the Golden Order. Anyway, so with that, I think we'll go ahead and move on. We're going to travel to the Erdtree Gazing Hill. So before we move on, we're actually going to pick up a couple of items. At the back of the Lux Ruins here, we got a lightning-proof dried liver. Got a Michaela's Lily. Got a couple of other minor crafting items in here too. But we'll pick up those. Then we're going to work our way down this path. Now there's a couple of ruins here. Not ruins, I'm sorry, camps. So there are several enemies that have their weapons trained on us if we go inside this camp. So we're going to go around and kill them first. All right, they're dead. We're going to go ahead and head down here. So in the back of each of these caravans, there are items. There's a sword back here. So Troll's Golden Sword. Colossal Sword. Strength requirement of 29. Strength and Dex scaling. Has Troll's Roar, which allows you to basically blow back enemies. And then follow up with a downward slam. You might remember this from some of the troll enemies that we've fought before. Otherwise, come over here for some lightning grease. Great Shield Talisman. This improves the abilities of normal shields. Now we're heading to the next camp. Got a warming stone. Over here we got one of these pumpkin head enemies. So grab the fan daggers. Then we're going to go around here to the third camp. This one has two high-level enemies. One right there. All right, so now we're going to get on the road. So you can see there we got our target. However, there are some enemies off on the side here. And if we don't kill them, they're going to interrupt us during the fight, so I'm going to kill them. And there's a pack of enemies off on the side over here, too. And they will also likely hear us during the fight, so we're going to kill them as well. So this enemy is irritating. He's basically got the same attacks as all the other guys, though. Try to get him from the side. The attacks he does are a lot less of a deal on this side. And he's dead. Alright, so we got the shared order, grants affinity, holy affinity, to melee armaments, highly effective against undead. So we're done with that. We are going to head towards the Lux Ruins now. So we're going to head for the Altus Plateau. You might recognize some of the enemies that you're going to see here because a lot of them are the Demi-human enemies. Alright, so it's a bunch of enemies that are sleeping whenever you get in here. You may or may not wake them up whenever you initially step in. Ah! You killed your own friend, bro. That's terrible. Alright, and there is a scarab over here. This one actually outright disappears whenever you don't kill it, if you get too close to it, so we're going to hit it with an arrow. And in this case, one of the actual arrows, not the bone arrows. Normal arrows don't do enough damage against these. So we'll get Shield Bash. Uh-oh. Alright, so now we're going to head down here. This actually leads to the boss. Nothing particularly special about this boss. You can summon for it if you want to, but you probably won't need to. I don't recommend locking onto it because the locking is kind of strange. Swinging its legs. When it growls like that, it's going to do usually a jump over you. So you want to roll through the jump if you can. Otherwise, pretty easy boss. So we got a ritual sword talisman. This only takes effect whenever you're at maximum HP. So it raises attack power. So we've now completed the Lux Ruins. Let's head towards the Altus Highway Junction. So pick up a crafting item. We're basically kind of following this path. It's going to split left though, so we're going to take a left split. So this actually leads to an item that is key to progressing Celavis's quest. However, depending on your choices, you may choose not to use this. I'm not going to, but I'm going to make sure that you have all the items required for it. The sacramental buds, by the way, they are a rare item, and they can make preserving boluses, which are good for dealing with scarlet rot, as well as they make bewitching branches, which can actually, if you stab an enemy with it, it's a one-time use item, but it'll make that enemy your ally. Anyway, you grab the Amber Starlight. That's really what we're here for. And then we're going to head back. We will have to progress Celavis's quest quite a bit before we have the opportunity to give that to him, but since we're here, we'll go ahead and pick it up. And then we're going to continue east along this route. There's some enemies off on the right. There's a bear. There's also a rune bear. I'm just going to bypass them for now. Once you see the plume, we're going to turn left. And we are now in the Perfumer's Grotto. Let's see. We got a level up ready for us. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll deal with that enemy on our way out. For now, let's head down here. A whole bunch of cave moss in this place. There's also enemies called Perfumers in here. Now, we've dealt with enemies that use perfume up to this point, but these enemies, that's basically all they use. There's also Miranda plants in here, too. We'll give this guy a stab, and... Not going to bother with the Miranda plants because they just simply take too much to kill for what they give us anyway. Follow this path. There is a cave moss there. We're going to drop off down here. And there's actually a perfume bottle here, so you can start using these yourself too. So he just casts an ability that makes you invulnerable to one attack. So you can see that they are surrounded by that ability. Now as you come out here, you'll recognize one of these. Now, I recommend killing it. Okay, so if you don't have what's required to kill him, just run past him. The main reason we want to kill him, though, is that this area in front of us is actually another dungeon, which is a dungeon right here. And once we come over here, we'll be on the opposite side. And some of the items that we're going to be collecting in this dungeon over here are hard to get a hold of because this guy will be shooting shit at you. So I'm going to recommend killing him while you're here. Otherwise, come over here for an arterial leaf, and we're going to drop down and head for the boss. We'll do shield and bonk stick. So this boss is a combination of Omen Killer, who you might remember from the village of the Albernacks. Again, he's basically a clone of the Capra Demon from Dark Souls. So jump attacks are going to be your mainstay for this boss. Beyond that, though, he's also got the help of a Miranda plant. The Miranda plant's kind of irritating because it's going to do that that holy ability against you. So what you can do is you can summon for this fight, and that'll keep the Miranda plant busy while you focus on the Omen Killer. Otherwise, though, not a very difficult fight. Just jump, slam, jump, slam. And you can basically keep him from doing any of his attacks if your timing is really good for it. My timing wasn't great, but it worked out. And then these things really don't like fire, so light them on fire. It will still be able to slam the ground, so pay attention to what direction it's facing, because it'll hit the opposite direction. And that's going to be it for that fight. You get the Great Omen Killer Cleaver. Has Wild Strikes as its ability. Strength requirement of 23. Strength and Dex scaling. And then blood loss, of course. Pretty good damage, especially for the level that it's at. We are right on par for another level. Sweet. And I'm going to go ahead and make some more fire grease. The nice thing about fire grease and dealing with these plants is the stuff that they have in the air goes away once you attack them. Now this one won't respawn, by the way. So I'm going to recommend we go ahead and kill it. All right, we are good. So now we're going to climb up here. Now, if you want to try the fight against these two, be my guest. I don't think they are a good fight for us right now. What you can do, though, is you can get behind one of them And once you get close to one, it'll start moving. And it'll go and park itself kind of at the next set of stairs. And then you can fight one of them at a time. I still don't think this is a great boss battle right now, so I'm going to recommend doing it later. So we got some golden seeds to pick up. Map of Lanedale. And now we've got the eastern side of this place handled. Alright, so where we're actually going to go is down to this location right here. This is actually a Church of America. More holy grease. And if you go off to the right there, by the way, you will end up running into an ulcerated tree spirit. He's pretty hard. It's a good bit harder than the one that was at the bottom of Thornbell Castle, so I would hold off on that for now. Otherwise, though, we got a missionary's cookbook. Got a couple of centipedes. Add a charge to the flask. Melina also wants to talk to us.
Spoke shall I shed? Himmer I declare through under those bliss my comrade.
So you're gonna get the outer order ability. Kind of looks like the what do you call it? Fusion. Oh! Not quite. Anyway. So we're going to grab that, and then we're going to go ahead and head over to the Second Church of America. So this time we're going to take the road up. You might remember we passed this to get a golden seed as well as the map fragment up this way. This, by the way, is where you're going to find our buddy, Corin. He has migrated here.
Oh, how delightful. I've been doing and will have. Yet, I suppose.
So he's not found Golden Mask yet. Once we find Golden Mask ourselves, we have to come back here and tell him about it, and he'll actually begin traveling with Gold Mask. Otherwise, what we want to do is we want to head to that church down there. So be aware, we are going to be invaded. And unfortunately, this is Yura's final resting place.
Eleanor, but I've learned I've sliced. Please, do not step.
Once you pick up the Nagakiba, she's going to summon in. So she's a spider monkey. She does not give you much. As you can see, she's kind of dangerous. I might bonk stick this this chick. Sorry, you are out. Man, how does she have so much magic? Anyway, you'll probably have better luck than I will with my crappy weapons. Anyway, so we got a couple of items from her. We got Eleonora's pole blade, which requires 12 strength, does blood loss, requires strength, dex, and arcane. Pretty kind of pretty good weapon for someone like us if we're going for a bleed build. And then you get the purifying crystal tier. So this is basically key to not having a hard time against Moog, one of the bosses actually that you're required to face in order to fight into the DLC. So if you use this in concoction, basically there's an ability that Moog will do to you where he will cause you multiple hits of blood loss. And it'll basically force you to keep chugging, basically, and you can basically prevent some of that damage by swigging this right before he does the attack. Anyway, we are sitting at about 35-ish minutes, and I think that's going to wrap it for this episode, everybody. So in the next episode, we're going to be continuing to tackle some of the southern kind of section stuff. We're going to be heading over here. We're also going to be heading over here. We're going to be completing a puzzle over here. We're going to be killing a boss at the minor Erd tree over here. And we're going to be heading up to this location, I think, in the next episode as well, which is basically a village of crazies. So we'll be dealing with that in the next episode. But until then, thank you everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Later.